From an arts and an innovation background, I've always been fascinated by what digital can do.
When people say digital, it feels like such a simple phrase. And I think for most kids these days, there is no separation. If you said digital to kids, they wouldn't really know what you meant. It's just that's something that they have already to hand.
Personally, I was petrified of that word digital. I wasn't actually quite sure exactly what it meant. It was just this sort of amorphous thing that was beyond my understanding.
You're having to embrace the digital. I mean, it's not going to get uninvented, you know. No one's going to turn the internet off.
The Digital Innovation Fund for the Arts in Wales was set up to help arts organisations experiment with digital technology. So we work with arts organisations who've identified a strategic opportunity or a challenge, and we work with them and give them the support to find the right way to use technology to overcome that, either looking at their business model or the way that they engage with audiences.
The R&D process has been a really steep learning curve for me. I'm really amazed at how much I'm already learning and kind of shifting my attitudes and thinking and understanding about a whole bunch of stuff more broadly than just digital.
It's an area that I've been really keen to involve the organisation in for a number of years, and we just haven't had the opportunity to research and find out more about it, and this is the way we're going to do it. The process itself is thorough and involving, and it sort of encourages you to think outside the box.
So the workshops have been like terrifying and really exciting at the same time. It blew our minds that what we were considering wasn't as simple as what we'd imagined, but by making it more complex, gave us a better understanding of the problem then, so we were able to redefine where we were going with it.
We knew through the initial workshops that data was one of the things that we hadn't previously considered, because as an independent music maker, you think about making the music and selling it. You don't think about the in-between and how useful the information that people gather and generate themselves might actually be.
One of our designers came up with a term of where analogue and digital meet, and we really loved that phrase. That's kind of where we're at. If we could have access to Wi-Fi and mobile connectivity in a remote rural location, what could we do with that? It's about welcoming people into this amazing environment, but not ramming digital technology down their throats. It's got to be a sensitive exchange.
What became our big question was, how do you put a festival online? Can you capture the same essence of a festival digitally? Is that possible? And I think that's the challenge for digital, because there's so much to be done. We have an enormous amount of archive. If we wanted to archive that and we want to digitise it all, what's the process we have to go through to do that?
We started this whole process actually by piloting this system. We knew that we had this potential of a big problem. We've now realised that actually we cannot continue actually on our offline paper-based system. We just have to embrace the new technology to be safer, to save time, to save money, and to safeguard our beneficiaries. We're a very, very small team, but we have a huge task, and we cannot do it without digital intervention.
So from our perspective, the digital platform here is about how can we more quickly share information, learn from that information, and also how quickly can we get that out and the awareness of that capability across to everybody.
What we're going to be developing is an overall development in how we operate, and digital forms part of that. It's part of the solution, but it's not the entire solution. I think I wasn't really expecting that out of this process.
What's exciting is that we're not focusing on just a product, a final product, but it's about the process of discovery, about learning what types of new ways of communication through the digital we can discover and experiment with.
It's exposed a whole bunch of things that I wasn't really expecting to come across along the way, and it's still really, really early days. But what I learnt really quickly was that as soon as you start unpacking that challenge, it grows exponentially.
You think you might understand an issue or a problem that you have, but actually someone else coming in from a different sector really does enlighten the whole thing.
We realised that we were dinosaurs and that we can save time, and by saving time we're saving money, and we can start working more effectively away from our desks.
I think the question of digital for the festival is going to be a big one. I think it's something that's going to stick around. as it will for everybody in the cultural industries, I think, and something that we'll continue have to evolve and deal with as we go further on.
It's got to be about the art, it's got to be about the audience and the audience experience. So actually the technology is a tool, but it's not the main element. It enables us to do what we want, but it's not our main focus.
Without doubt, having such a strong digital element to our work is going to transform our practices and streamline what we do.
Our respect for digital and everything that it can achieve can only really grow from this point, really. So the answer's out there, basically. We just need to find it.